Manchester United versus Aston Villa has just ended 0-0. I gotta say, this was an alright performance. We weren't amazing and we weren't absolutely terrible, but, we just couldn't find the back of the net yet again, which is a huge problem this season. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked we even tied this game because Aston Villa had just beaten Bayern in the Champions League. They're full of confidence. They have a game at home against a struggling United side, and somehow, some way, we left with a point. And honestly, I thought we were done for right from the first whistle because Ten Hag put Maguire and Evans at center back, and I was shocked. I was like, there is no way this guy thinks that's a good idea. Now, granted, Evans, I would say, played a pretty good game. He ended up getting man of the match, but still, for you to just select Evans and Maguire over your other center backs, I thought was just a crazy decision, and he was just asking for the sack. Because with your job on the line, I would not be betting on Maguire and Evans. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the game. Bruno hit the crossbar on a free kick, so we were very, very close to scoring. But at the same time, Villa almost scored with 2 minutes left in the game, and Dalot blocked it with his back and it went out for a corner. So realistically, it was anybody's game today. I don't think either side played particularly well. I think it was just, back and forth. One person could have won it, the other team could have won it. It was just one of those games. So yes, we tied again today, but honestly, going to Villa as the away team and coming away with a point is actually a decent result. Especially because some of the bigger teams in the Premier League would struggle to win at Villa. Like, if you put Man City there, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, whatever, they're going to struggle to beat Villa at Villa Park. So coming away with a point is actually a decent result, but the problem is we've had so many draws this season. We can't score goals, we're not that great offensively, we're not that great defensively either, and we have just been dropping way too many points right now. If we look at the league table, Liverpool is in first place with 18. We have 10 points less than them. I've got to get off the screen just to show you where we are. We are in 14th place with a -3 goal difference and 8 points after today's draw against Aston Villa. That is nowhere near good enough. 7 games into the Premier League season, I believe they were saying this is the worst start ever for Manchester United in the Premier League. It's honestly embarrassing because last season everyone was saying, Ten Hag's had all these injuries, this season he's gonna cook, and right now, he's not cooking anything good. If we look at today's stats, it was pretty much 50-50. If you look at possession, Aston Villa had slightly more than us with 54.1. Shots on target, we actually had more, surprisingly. Shots was pretty much even, and all the other statistics were pretty close, except we did have a lot more tackles and clearances. But overall, just not the greatest game. It was one of those days where you just show up and both teams get a draw and you just call it a day and you're like, whatever, it's 1 point. But the problem is, we need points, we need to win games, we need to be a competitive team in the Premier League, Europa League, Carabao Cup, all the competitions we're in, and we're just not doing that. We either get battered 3-0, that's the magical score this season, we lose 3-0 all the time, or we draw games or we lose. And that's just not good enough, and that falls on ERIK Ten Hag. Now, I think he's probably going to be sacked tomorrow, which is October 7th. The results just have not been good enough. Like I said, this is the worst start ever in the Premier League for Man United, and it's got to fall on someone's shoulders. It's like the manager at a store. If sales are not good, you're not going to go fire all the associates. You go for the person in charge. And the crazy part is, if we do sack him, that means Ineos is going to have to pay him about $17 million, which is insane because that's basically like a new signing. And I fully expect him to get the sack. You cannot start this season after players come back from injury, you sign a whole bunch of new players as well, and then you still play as bad as you did last season or even worse. So like I said, I expect him to be sacked tomorrow or at least during this international break that's about to happen. So guys, there you have it. Aston Villa and Man United 0-0. Not the greatest game ever, to be honest. It was actually kind of boring. Both sides had chances. I would say Aston Villa had a very, very good chance right near the end of the game, but like I said, Dalot blocked it, which was extremely, extremely lucky. This season has just been absolutely terrible. I expect our manager to be sacked in the next 24 hours. The players look like they're lacking confidence. I know there was some reports saying that some of the players expect Ten Hag to be sacked, and obviously they're not going to be playing at 110% with that in the back of their mind. And we need some new leadership. We need, a new strategy and philosophy at this club, because right now, if we keep going the way we're going, we're literally going to be in the relegation zone within the next month. But yeah, another 2 points dropped. Let me know what you guys thought about today's game at Villa Park down below.